Audible 2456.
Ho, ho, ho. It is the State of the Save holiday special. And let's just go ahead and get it off the top of the bat here, alright? This was supposed to be a jolly old time. We got a fire going. We got hot cocoa. We got some eggnog. We're here to embrace the holiday season with you guys. But boy, have we been kicked in the teeth by video games in the past 48 hours.
Uh-huh.
So we're going to do something here. We're going to start off. We're going to do the Oreo cookie method. Alright?
What's the Oreo cookie method, Eric?
Thank you for asking, Michael.
It's when you stick the fork in the icing so that you can dip it without getting your fingers wet.
That's a high quality tactic.
Yeah.
That's not what we're doing. But what we're doing is we're going to do some positive. Then we're going to do a whole little negative section where we're going to all bitch.
This one's double stuffed.
There's a double stuff bitch session. And then we're going to end on our big holiday, the stuff we promised. Our games of the... I'm sorry, I'm still laughing about it being double stuff.
I don't think I've ever gotten that much of a laugh out of Michael in my life. So.
Michael almost spit his drink all over the place. Then we're going to do our games of the generation. We got some letters. We're really excited about reading those. It's just going to be a really great time. But before that, we got to do the bitch session. But what the first positive is, Nick? What is the first positive, Nick?
That we're all here together.
Yes, we are all here together. So I'm Eric, of course. Nick, introduce yourself to the people.
Hey everybody, I'm Nick.
You Nick?
I'm
That's
Nick.
good. Michael, introduce yourself to the people.
Hi, people. I'm gonna get into my story in a bit, but I'm in a weird headspace right now.
Michael's sad because Michael's coming fresh off of video games kicking him in the teeth. Me and Nick have had like 24 hours for video games to kick us in the teeth and then send us an apology text later. So, Michael,
Yeah.
let's just start off with you. Let's go around the horn.
Okay.
What did video games do to you
Video
today?
games. Well, I wouldn't say video games kick me in the teeth. Video games are great. What? Okay. Video games are great. Video games are wonderful. The people who sell video games, let me tell you.
Is it a particular company that's going slowly out of business but just will not go quietly into the night?
Oh, you mean GameStop? Yes, it's absolutely a GameStop story.
So
You might be saying, Michael, why are you at GameStop? Shouldn't you know better as someone who likes video games that going to GameStop is like the equivalent of taking a bus right to the seventh circle of hell?
Also, this is no shot at GameStop employees per se.
Oh, no.
It's the GameStop corporation that we have problems with.
Okay, so as a lot of us probably listening to this podcast have already know, the next gen system's impossible to get. Like,
I've been looking for an Xbox for a very long time.
yes, I've been looking for a PS5 since the day after launch, because day after launch was when my birthday was, so I'm like, cool, now I have the money and the means to go buy a PlayStation. Except, oops, never mind. Excuse me. They're all out of stock. So, been trying, been burned by Walmart, been burned by Target, been burned by pretty much every online retailer because they decide not to do a in-store launch event unless you're Walmart for some reason. And then Walmart occasionally will have ring up as, oh, it's supposed to be online only, but if you go when they stores have stock, they might sell it to you.
I saw some people online who have been like, oh man, I just walked up to the random guy in the electronics section. He gave me one from the back.
Yeah, but I'm trying to look. I've had instances where I could have got a disc version, and I'm trying to look for a digital version in particular. And one reason I want to do a digital version instead of a disc version, despite the fact that it's $100 cheaper, is so I never have to stop at a GameStop again.
Just that.
Okay.
I will fully embrace the digital future just to never have to go to a GameStop.
Yeah, so 3:45 rolls around. I'm about to get in my car for other reasons, and I saw on Twitter people were like, hey, GameStop is going to have online stock for people in their store only, so that way bots don't get them. Because the big problem is bots are buying them up before. So it's like, no, you can only order online if you're in the store. I'm like, makes sense. They're starting in 15 minutes. I called the GameStop and said, hey, I saw it was you have just bundles listed. Is it going to be the regular console as well? The guy says, yes, we're doing the regular console as well. Come in, you'll get one. I get there. I'm the 9th person in line for 10 total PS5s. No one's there for Xboxes. They have Xboxes too. No one's there for
Wait,
Xboxes.
wait, let's pause for a second, because I just threw my drink there. Why didn't you tell me they had the Xboxes?
Because you wanted to do the payment plan thing.
Oh, yeah, they don't let me do the payment plan.
Plus,
okay.
there was a weird thing where only bundles were ringing up for like 2 hours instead of
Okay,
the
continue
regular
your story. I'll
So-
fight with you later about not calling me.
Okay, so they hand out tickets. They said we're gonna have 6 disc and 4 digital. 6 disc, 4 digital. I'm the last person in line who would get a digital system. I'm number 8, the 4th digital person. So they were like, okay, everybody go to your cars. We're trying to get the system up and running. All the stores are trying to log in and try to pull from. Each store is allocated a certain number of systems, but everybody's trying to pull from the same when it comes to getting it in their cart so they can ship it to you, because it's not an in-store pickup thing. They're going to buy it online and then ship it to you. Okay. So we go to our car, we get weighed back in, system crashes. We go to our car again, we get weighed back in, the system crashes. Repeat 4 times over the course of, this is about 4, this is about 6, so 2-hour window. Then all of a sudden we're weighing back in again. We have to occasionally be rolled out of the store again because of the 10-person limit because of the pandemic.
I'm just here to buy some Funko Pops.
Yeah. Actually, yeah, people were going in there, being like, everybody just swaps the store. Just one way, who's like, I need to buy a Skylanders dragon.
Wait, who's buying Skylander dragons in 2020?
That was my question, but
that was a con right there. That was a guy secretly trying to pay somebody off to buy a PlayStation.
So the regular console versions, not the bundles. Well, they never went online for a while. The bundles started going online, and people were caving, going, "Yeah, I guess I'll buy the $800 console bundle. That includes Spider-Man. A $100 gift card, and an additional controller. Just too much stuff."
$100 gift card to GameStop?
No, $100 gift card to the PlayStation Online store.
Well, at least it's not like you're not going to be able to spend this in 3 months.
It's just now just picturing GameStop being like, "Oh, it's the greatest scam in the world. We're gonna really put gift cards."
Oh, that's
on
the greatest
sale.
scam in the world. Let me
Continue, but
okay.
That made me laugh.
There was one guy. There was a couple people there. They eventually had the Series X's ready to go. I think no one was there for a Series S, but they had a few of the Series X's were starting to go at this point. And then all of the people who wanted disc eventually got a bundle. They didn't get the regular console, but they got the bundle because the regular console did not go on live for them. So we're still waiting out there. About an hour of just the 4 people, me included, who were there for digital. This is about the 4th or 5th time about being in the store, out of the store, in the store, out of the store. We're out of the store at this point. Guy comes up and goes, "Yeah, something happened and we don't have any digital stock anymore. Apparently, everybody was pulling from the same well for digital stock, and that the consoles that were originally allocated for different stores, we don't have ours anymore." This was 7 o'clock. This was 3 hours of waiting. I got a ticket that had my SKU number on it that was basically like, "Here's your golden ticket with the PS5. You get to go to the chocolate factory, buddy. Good, congratulations." Oh wait, no, the chocolate factory doesn't exist. Everything's a lie. Gene Wilder comes out and beat me with a cane.
You get
I think
nothing.
that's the moral of that story anyway, right?
I don't even
You lose.
okay, from a logistical point of view. All right, Eric's gonna put his businessman clothes on. Watch this. I'm gonna take my clothes off. I'm gonna put my businessman clothes on.
Is there any way that you could just cut in that quote of Gene Wilder going, "You get nothing, you lose"? Right there.
Basically.
Yeah, please put that in.
I will.
And please do not cut us talking about putting it in, because it's much more funnier when we ask for it on the show.
I don't cut anything. Nothing's cut.
Yeah, nothing's ever cut, guys. But the fact that that it's literally like it wasn't at all put to the side, or like, why couldn't they have just done the SKU numbers through their own system and then say, "Hey, you will get yours, pay the money now, and then we will start running it through and get that."
That was the plan. That was the plan. We had the SKU numbers, but the problem was that apparently the ones that were allocated to our store, other stores were able to pull from.
But how? Like,
I don't know. Why do you think I'm upset?
Like, because you think the easiest... Because when you came in, behind the scenes, Michael comes into the house, and he's like, "I guess I'm not getting my PlayStation." And, like, in my mind, I was like, well, surely you've now got one put for you. It's just going to be a few more days or something.
No. None. That was the plan. I was going to get one shipped to me. That was the plan. I just wanted the benefit of like, okay, might be coming in January for me, but at least it's secure. At least it's going to be. No, none, zero. They were like, sorry, we ran out of our digital stock that we don't even have yet. That will one day be shipped to our warehouse. That will one day ship to you. It means nothing.
It literally what it says is that they were like literally the SKU number they gave you was just off a list.
Yes.
And some other store just gave that same SKU number. So God knows how many people today got straight up fucked over by this system. And like, okay, this is Eric's rant on GameStop. Like, this is literally the same thing as like I'm pre-ordering something and some dude comes in before me and is like, hey man, don't you got one in the back? And they go pull it out of my file and hand it to him. Because it's literally double dipping, and then you're like, yo, and I get it, it's a video game system. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm
not mad about the video game system. If they said, hey, we don't have any for you, I'm mad that I wasted 3 hours of my life.
Yeah.
Just to be told, whoops, sorry, our Windows 95 computer system couldn't keep up with modern times and modern technology.
And that's a big deal. Like,
it sucks. Like, I'm not mad that I don't get to play PS5. I can wait. I can wait until like more games come out for it. I was really hyped to play a bunch of the PS4 games I missed this generation, but I can wait for the cool stuff. I can wait for Final Fantasy 16. I can wait for the other stuff. But to waste 3 hours of my life for nothing is just infuriating. Your time is your most valuable asset of all, and that's something I will never get back. So, conspiracy theory here, it's kind of funny that the one system they couldn't sell was the one that would be like, hey, you don't have to come to our store ever again. You can just buy your games online.
You know what? That's a conspiracy theory, and maybe the chemtrails are making you think that way, but...
Dude, I'm on a podcast slamming the table Alex Jones style.
But it makes sense that they would not push those versions. Because why would they? Or why would you push the diskless versions of those consoles? Because it's like it's a known secret that GameStop is very quickly falling down the ladder towards
not even
bankruptcy.
Reggie Fils-Aimé can save them.
No,
it is a nightmare.
It's like they're falling down the ladder to bankruptcy. And here's the thing though, like there was a time when I was a younger man that the concept of not having video game stores would have made me like extremely sad.
Same.
Like I used to love the Funko Land, which is my favorite name for a store. I don't know if that's a regional thing. It got bought out by GameStop, but we used to have a Funko Land. And
I remember
Funko
EB
Land,
Games a lot growing up, and then they became a...
We had EB Games, and we had a Funko Land. Funko Land had the deals. You wanted the deals, you go to Funko Land. EB Games was where, if you wanted to do pre-order, you could get the pre-orders easier. But then GameStop started buying people up. And I have had more times back when I was a GameStop shopper, and this has probably been... I was probably a teenager when I was... So it's been a while since I was buying stuff at the GameStop. But, I would go in and have a game pre-ordered, show up, and they would be like, yeah, we can't find your game. And, this is... I don't pre-order games anymore because I buy mostly digital anyway, but, I remember pre-ordering, I want to say Skyrim, when Skyrim came out. And I showed up to buy it, and the girl behind the desk straight up told me, she's like, I can't find it. And I said, oh, okay, well, do I get, one from another stock or something like that? And she's like, nah, we won't be getting any anytime soon. I'm sorry.
Of Skyrim?
I said to her, well, how did you just not get enough copies? And she goes, no, sometimes the employees get to buy the games first, so they probably just took your copy. I had already paid for that motherfucking game. All right? And, this was, I don't know, what year did Skyrim come out?
2011.
Okay, so I was younger and less a sort of person back then. But, that stuff happened to me, on the regular at the GameStop. And the concept that this is, every time you have to do business with these people, and like I said, it's not directed at the employees, it's directed at the organization and the company. It just seems like it's par for course for them to do these crazy, hair-pulling, frustrating screw-overs. And like I said, it's the time. The older you get, It's not necessarily about not getting the thing. It's like I could be doing other things right now instead of sitting in my car for 3.5 hours.
I'm literally too impatient at this point in my life to like sit through a drive-through.
No, like if I pull up to the Panda Express and there's 3 cars in line, I'm like, I don't know if I really want Panda Express that bad. Like, I'm just not that patient of a person. But like, I would have done the same thing if I had a SKU number. At that point, to me, that's I've got it. It's mine.
Yes.
I have the number. No one else has my SKU number. I'm set.
The everlasting gobstopper is within your grip.
Yeah,
Basically.
yeah. You're gonna go sell that off to the freaking Hershey company and be rich as anything.
Oh,
His
the
name
best
is
part
Slugworth,
though,
sir.
the best part that solidified the fact that I'm living in Jingle All the Way, that Arnold Schwarzenegger movie, was they were like, wait, we can prioritize you for the Xbox Series S. Everybody just turned around and left.
Literally.
We don't want Booster.
We don't want Boost. Some guy walks out with the 2 PlayStation 5s. He's like, he's got 2! He's got 2!
Jingle All the Way is an underrated holiday classic. It is one of the best Christmas movies.
I actually think it's my favorite Christmas movie just because, one, I admit I like Arnold Schwarzenegger a whole lot, especially like 80s, early 90s Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Dude.
And, yeah.
I just love that his rival in that movie is just some dorky neighbor with like glasses who's like sniveling the whole time.
Like his
just
wife,
like he's his ultimate rival.
His wife acts like he's like a legitimate, like Arnold acts like that guy's a legitimate threat. If you're married to Arnold freaking Schwarzenegger, like 1990 Arnold Schwarzenegger, and then little dude over here who can cook some cookies and brags about his ability to fix a door frame, like he don't stand a chance, man. He don't stand a chance. Like the fact that you would even have the balls to be like, I'm gonna try to go bang Arnold Schwarzenegger's wife. And in that whole movie, I've watched Jingle All the Way a lot. In that whole movie, like they always put Arnold in these like big bulky
the heavy
clothes,
coat so he doesn't look as muscular.
so he doesn't look like Mr. Universe. Because like no one would believe that there would be any problems at all if he was still looking like Mr. Universe. See, that's some Christmas talk.
Yeah. Look, we
almost
wrapped it
like-
back to holiday.
It's almost like now's the time to be joyous and happy.
Wrong.
Is it?
Because
Wait,
Michael made one good decision on video games this week. He did not buy Cyberpunk 2077.
I saw the writing on the wall. I'm like, guys, I think the last gen version of this game is going to be completely busted.
But here's the problem. Michael. There's 2 people sitting at this table who did buy Cyberpunk.
I warned you. You.
One bought it on the Xbox One. One has it on PC.
Yeah.
And we both came in today and just were dumbfounded by what has happened to us.
You got Bethesda.
We got... it's worse than that. But, so we're going to talk about some Cyberpunk. It has been well documented. I think on the very first episode of this show, I said I was extremely excited about Cyberpunk. I have been excited about this game. Now, I am not religious zeal behind Cyberpunk. Like, I'm not like, oh my god, this is going to be the second coming of Mario. No one you don't understand. Our video game Lord and Savior, Mario.
Okay, I'm following.
But, I was not like that. But I was very, very excited. This is a... CD Projekt Red made The Witcher 3, which is a game we're
probably going to be talking
talk
about that in a little bit, huh?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And it's one of my favorite games. The Cyberpunk setting is one of my favorite settings. When I was a young man and saw Ghost in the Shell and Blade Runner and all of those things, I've always been a huge fan of that setting. And so it was right up my alley. I downloaded Cyberpunk the night before. I was very mad because I couldn't play it at 7 o'clock. I had to wait till midnight. I played it the next day. Nick got to play it before me and started to warn me about things before it happened. But, Nick, Michael, just sit back. Because Michael has not played this, and we're not going to spoil anything. Nick, about how far into Cyberpunk are you?
That's hard to say without spoiling stuff. But I would say that I'm probably I'm past the second, what I would consider main mission
Okay.
So not very far along.
I believe me and you are pretty much in the same area. You might be a little bit before me.
Yeah, I think I am.
Would this still be in like the prologue tutorial section, or are you gotten to like the main meat of the
So here's the thing.
world?
I don't think I've seen a title card yet.
I have seen a title card.
But I also may have just like glossed over it. But I really don't think that I have, and it does seem like I'm still trying to get going in the game.
Gotcha.
There's no spoiler here because we all know it from the trailer. I have had interactions with Johnny Silverhand, Keanu Reeves' character.
So I have not.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I am farther along than you are.
Yeah.
Nick, tell me your feelings on Cyberpunk.
So this might be like a surprise to those sitting at the table here, but I wouldn't even say that I cashed in my ticket on the hype train. I was just like, I'm gonna get this game when it comes out. I was never like fervorously sitting there waiting for it to come out and like dealing heartbreaking defeats every time it was pushed back.
You weren't on the subreddits, is what you're saying.
Right, I was just like, okay, well, I'm not going to play that now because I can't. But then it comes out, and as someone who doesn't know anything about anything Cyberpunk, this game is kind of fine. But, like, it's also nothing more than fine to me.
It just exists in a space where you're like, oh, I'll pop that in, play for a few hours, and everything, all the emotions leave me as soon as I put the controller down.
Honestly, yeah. So, like,
Gotcha.
I'll knock out, like, a mission a night. There's nothing that's, like, drawing me in to continue playing. Like, I didn't stay up for hours and hours the first night it came out. I think that I'm probably going to mainline this game. And I don't think that they're...
That's about 20 hours from what I'm hearing. I hear
Exactly.
the main quest is relatively short compared to something like their previous works.
And so, like, I'm getting all these texts and stuff from all these fixers and all this, which are people in the game that give you quests. And it's just like, I don't have any interest in going anywhere beneath where it says main quest at this point in the game.
I have completed every quest in The Witcher 3 except the second DLC, which I had saved in case of like a rainy day. Like if we ever had to go back into the quarantine, I was going to get the blood and wine, and that was going to be my quarantine thing.
I've been saving that too for something. I don't know why, but I'm like, this seems like a game on its own.
Oh, I know why now. Because now it's going to be my reminder that I still love RPGs. This is, like, I'm trying to be very... Okay, like, technical stuff aside, I have it on the Xbox One. I am extremely aware I am not playing this on the most powerful way to play this game. I know that. I do not expect to have as good of a graphical quality experience or as good of a technical stability that Nick might have on his PC or someone might have on their Xbox Series X or their PlayStation 5. I understand that. But the quality of experience that this game launched with was shockingly bad. I spent multiple hours shutting down different graphical effects just to get the thing to run smooth enough for me to play it.
Which is like insane because there's almost as many sliders and knobs that you have to turn.
I've never seen a depth of field slider on a console game.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like you have the exact same thing except for like your frame rate is probably
Hey,
capped.
optimize our game for us.
Exactly. Like
I
that's so much fun
literally-
playing this game.
I had to literally... there's a thing called brain dances in the game.
That's the Batman Detective Mode thing, right?
Sort of.
It's porn.
Okay, we're going to talk about the story and that stuff. I have some thoughts on that too. Because I stayed up really late last night to play this. Like,
This is not a Cyberpunk podcast, guys, I promise.
I stayed up till about 2:30 in the morning. And if you know me, I'm like a 11 o'clock cutoff guy. 11 a.m. I go to bed. 11 p.m. I go to bed. Like, I'm not a night owl kind of guy anymore like I used to be. But I was up extremely late just trying to wrap my head around this game. The amount of sliders I had to drop down just to, like, there's a faction in the game that has bright lights protruding from their faces. And in the mission in which I do a sit down and I talk to these people, the lights were physically making the screen so wavy, it was like covered in Vaseline and covered in like Like somebody had just like run water over my screen the whole time, and I was getting like nauseous moving my head around because the way the lights were reflecting. Now they did a hot fix patch yesterday that PC and PlayStation got.
Yeah.
I think got it today.
Xbox's approval process takes a little more time. Because they like dig through the files just to see.
We got it, I think, today because I got a big old patch this afternoon, and I've played it post the patch. The patch helps out a little bit, but it does not help out a lot. The pop in, I get hit by invisible cars in the street. I cannot read most of the ads. And I have a good quality TV. I have fiddled with these settings to the best of my abilities.
Mm-hmm.
Like I am not generally these are not problems I have.
This game sounds like another reminder that we probably should have cut off this gen like a year ago, but when games like Control and Jedi Fallen Order were coming out.
Yeah.
Because I got Jedi Fallen Order on launch day, and you want to talk pop in, like there was some pop. I had a boss T-pose on me. It was just coming at me with her lightsaber, just hovering in front, just going.
Now, Nick, before we continue,
Yep.
Did you have graphical issues also on the PC?
So pre-patch, it was. I'm gonna say like I had to dip down, and I don't have the highest end PC or like the best components or anything. And even with the patch, it's not like I'm doing all the bells and whistles. Like I don't have the ray tracing enabled. I don't have a lot of the stuff that really like seems to be what their focus was on this game, which is just having a flashy place to exist in. So I'm playing on Ultra without all that extra stuff, and I'm hitting about 100 frames per second, which is pretty smooth. Before the patch, it was really bad. So I was probably on medium settings and only like probably struggling to hit like 60. So it was pretty rough.
After seeing, because Eric showed us a bit, 60 sounds really nice.
Boy, yeah, I would love for some 60.
I mean, it's a different beast.
You'd love for some 30.
Yeah, I'm barely hitting 30 in a lot of the locations. The game looks great when you sit in a booth and you talk to somebody and nothing else happens except characters. Like I was talking to a character in a dino, and the people in the background kept popping in. Like a guy would be sitting at the dino, and then he would pop out, pop back in. So that was rough. But here's the biggest damning thing. I've played, like I said, I think I'm actually pretty farther than you, Nick, from my understanding. Because I am actually, like I said, I mainlined the main quest, and I'm pretty far. Maybe after the show we'll mention just to see kind of where you're at compared to me. But the biggest thing was walking around the ward, I do not feel this like deep feeling like wanting to explore everything that I did in The Witcher. Like in The Witcher, those parts of The Witcher 3 ward, and the same developer, that's why I'm using The Witcher 3 so much, that like I would see something in the distance, I would hop on my horse and I'd go ride there. The characters I met in The Witcher, which are based on books, I don't know if that helped. The characters in The Witcher that you meet, I felt kind of very quickly, I was very much invested in those characters. They were interesting. Like you meet Yennefer very early on in The Witcher 3. You meet Vesemir like right at the beginning. Like these are characters that there was just something about them was like I want to learn more about these people.
That even when you meet them 20 hours later, they still like, oh yeah, just the guy from the beginning. Like they left enough of an impact.
Yeah, like you feel like you're really invested in learning about these characters.
One last question I have about Cyberpunk is I think you love, as well as I do, the Deus Ex reboot, Human Revolution.
Yeah. I like
does that give you similar feelings? Because that's kind of what I wanted from Cyberpunk. Just like a deeper, like in the dialogue tree system version of Deus Ex.
So far in Cyberpunk, there is not a character that I have met that I enjoy enough to want to keep spending time with.
Not even Keanu Reeves?
Keanu Reeves has a section, like this, I don't want to get into spoilers here, that's what I'm trying to avoid, but there is a section with his character. He is the most interesting character I've met so far.
Well, he's the one character who's based on the actual material, too.
Yes, and the sequence in which you're introduced to him is pretty cool, and probably my favorite part of the game so far. But there's many characters I've met so far that have just not connected with me, And then with the technical side of it, it's very hard to want to explore a world that's constantly giving you technical issues. But also, the areas that I go into just don't have the, I don't want to accuse of false advertising or nothing, but they don't have the environment and the like depth of character jammed into a small space that the gameplay demos that you were seeing before this game was released kind of led you to believe.
Every person that you encounter in this game is literally has the same depth of like a Grand Theft Auto pedestrian NPC.
Grand Theft Auto is an amazing statement because dadgummit, this reminds me of a Grand Theft Auto game, and
I'm gonna tell you, it literally is like as all the way down to the even less clever ads than like it's Saints Row. This game is Saints Row.
No, because I like Saints Row.
Yeah.
I like Saints Row 3.
But Saints Row knows what it is.
Exactly. That's what... Okay.
It's not like you can be... The trailer literally is just like, in Night City, you can be whatever you want. And it's like, if what you want to be is a low-level street like thug and... don't have a lot of conversations with people.
Is that no matter what background you choose? Because
Okay.
it seems like a very Mass Effect or Dragon Age style, you pick your background. Does it all lead to the same place?
Nick, what did you pick for your background and your character?
I picked Nomad.
Okay. So you started in a different location than I did because I picked the Street Kid.
Is that how that works? Is that the only branching type thing?
I don't know yet.
I haven't looked into this at all.
Because you started out in the Waste, correct?
Yes.
And this is
some,
not a
like,
spoiler.
podunk
They talked
town.
about this in pre-release material.
Yep.
I started off inside Night City.
Okay.
I believe that there is some differences in the beginning, and that's one reason why you might have not caught up to where I am at the story, because it might take you a different path to get there than it does me.
That's fair.
So
Maybe the game fleshes itself out more once you hit the part where all the players get to.
I think I'm at that part.
Gotcha.
But I'm gonna keep playing this. Like, don't get me wrong, because I have to know now. But like, you brought up a point about like the ads and stuff.
Well, so in a game where it's just like you can tell, like when it comes down to like you need a NASA computer to run this at max settings with all the bells and whistles.
Oh, Crisis.
Yeah, I mean honestly, in a world where like, well, that's what they invested all their stuff into. It's just like, well, there's nothing. Like there's it's neon. You can look around and you can look, if you've got ray tracing on, you can see windows and neon with really cool lighting effects. But like the ads are really stupid. Like even I will laugh at like Grand Theft Auto ads. Like those are subtle and tongue in cheek. This one is just like, this is a lady's like boobs, and then there's a beer can between the boobs.
Well, like, okay.
That's a real ad in the game.
I can't tell if this game is filled with parody or not, because it is. But like, it is filled with parody. But at the same time, is that the vibe that they're really trying to go for? Let me get this out. No, I'm not cutting you off. I'm in the middle of a thought, and I'm trying to express it in the same time. There is like ads in this game. You know Nilfgaard in Witcher 3? You know, the big kind of invading army Nilfgaard in Witcher 3?
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
There was an ad for a porn movie called Nilfgaard.
That's funny.
That is funny.
Okay, but that's funny, right? Ha ha ha. You'd think that would be funny if that was a little Easter egg. But all of the ads are like that.
Oh.
So, like, none of the ads, like, okay, in Blade Runner, the second Blade Runner, when the ads are like these neon, like billboards that come down and physically like interact with you, or like you've seen ads in what movie was it, where like all the ads on the billboards change and talk to you personally because it's like it connects to your network. It's a movie. It'll come to me in a second. This is not got that kind of like, oh, it's like a adpocalypse kind of thing. All the ads are just like parody ads. Or just like literally what Nick said is like, it's advertising for beer, but it's just a big titty woman on the beer, and like I am a very, like, if you know anything about me, like when it comes to like sex stuff, very positive guy. I think we should all be more open with that kind of stuff. But at the same time, this is not trying to like express a message or try to like show a vibe. It's just like, it's doing it to be edgy, which takes away the purpose of any of it. Am I off base there, Nick? Or
No, and so like that's the whole thing is just like there's nothing to this world other than just like look how trashy this is. Like that's the vibe they're going for. And like it's hard not to regurgitate what I've, you hear this on everything that you're looking up. Like everybody's talking about Cyberpunk. So I don't want to reiterate what other people are saying. I would like to bring my own thing to the conversation. But it's just like the only thing, like you can snap it down to one word. Like it's completely 2D. There's no like, this is where, librarians go in Night City, and they're just like, what's up with all this other stuff? It's just like, no, it's just like everybody is, they're shooting in the street, and it's everything. And it's just like every city has, areas and pockets that'll, diversify what's going on. But like, it's everything is this thing.
Everything is Mega City 1 from Judge Dredd.
Exactly.
So in Judge Dredd, Mega City 1, everything is Mega City 1. To the point that the ads and such remind me of something. I've read a lot of like Judge Dredd comics or 2000 AD like kind of strips and stuff. This is kind of like a Judge Dredd ward, but then they're trying to, like, some of the stuff they're talking about is very serious. And the thing about Judge Dredd is it's all satire. And it's weird to be like, we're going to treat this very seriously, but then just fill it for parody and satire. And sometimes I feel like it undercuts the message. But also, like I said, I haven't met a character yet, barring maybe Johnny Silverhand, which he's the most interesting character I've met so far, that has really like stuck with me. I'm like, this is a cool character. This is somebody I want to talk to and hang out with. Everyone's got the whole, they're futuristic dicks, right? Everyone's kind of like, you gotta watch out for yourself out here. And it's like, okay, I get that, but if everybody's got that same character trait, it just becomes monochromatic, and it leaves you nothing to grasp onto. And that's the part I think is the most damning of this whole thing, is I'm just not connecting with any of this. I played Fallout New Vegas when it came out and had a great time with it, bugs and all, because I could connect with stuff. There was stuff I wanted to see and people I wanted to talk to. I love me some freaking RPGs, Western RPGs in particular. And this one is right up my alley on paper, but I'm just having the hardest time connecting. And I have some kind of questionable feelings on how they handle a certain subject matter.
Why is there penises in this game? Other than just be like, haha, look at my character's penis. And again, I feel like I guess it is necessary to address, like, people don't know us personally. I don't have a problem with nudity. I don't really care. But it's just like, why is that something that you like bring to the freaking shareholders meetings? Like, all right, guys, next year when this game comes out, penises and vaginas.
People were very angry with the concept that there was only a couple sizes and styles of penis, and there was only one kind of vagina. And I blew my freaking mind, because I was like,
I mean, it is odd.
It's odd, but like at the same time, the fact that like so many people were hung up on that, where it's like, dude, man, this game has more problems. And I wish they would have just, like, I'm okay with them just, I just feel weird about like why that was a sticking point that people were like, I need to customize that more. But
it's just up until this point in the game, I don't think I've seen it again. Not intended by the developer. Like, it's clipped out of my pants a couple times, but
like I'm playing as a female character who has a penis, because I thought it would be like as close to playing as like a trans character in a video game, and that's like a kind of character I've never played. And I was like, maybe that's something that will affect this world or this story. And now I'm realizing I think I'm asking a lot more from this game than what it was going to be. And like that wasn't done. Like, I didn't play like that because I wanted to be like edgy or anything. I generally thought like, this is a kind of character I've never played as in a video game before. I wonder if the video game will take that into consideration, because it lets you do it. Mm-hmm. And I don't think this game is going to touch any of that.
Again, I'm probably not the person to touch on this, because, obviously I don't identify with that personally, but it's just like, it seems almost like that's another thing that they pushed at the beginning, where it's just like, you could be like trans, or you could be transitioning and all this stuff. And whenever you are choosing that option, it just says, well, if you have a dick, they're going to refer to you as he or him, you know, or if you have a vagina, they're going to do this. Like, it doesn't matter how you, like...
tone deaf in a little bit of the ways it handles its stuff, but it
especially
doesn't sound like
you
they
get out ahead of it and say, we're going to try to approach this. Like...
Yeah, I feel like if you're going to open up the door and want to talk about it,
yeah,
then you need to be a little bit more smart with how you talk about it. But this game, I'm gonna keep playing it. We'll probably check in on this game a few times. I encourage you, Michael, to play it just because
I cannot wait to play this game in a year when it's fixed and be like, guys, this game's pretty good.
I will also preface this with, again, I'm not having a terrible time as somebody who did not care about this game whenever it was announced.
It's a game. It's not the game.
Right, and I don't have any affinity or like close. I guess I don't know any of the references that they might be copying on this, so it's just like this is just another game, I guess.
Gotcha. I know this is something that partially, like I said, I know I went into this extremely hyped, but at the same time, also I was ready to be not let down, but be like brought down to reality by it. I did not anticipate to be brought down this hard, I think is the problem. And, you know, hey, it is as it is.
Are we ready to talk some positivity?
Yeah, but we just had to get that off. That was our venting session. But now, on this holiday special.
Woo! Nothing but joy here.
Nothing but joy.
Shake that negative
nothing but
energy
happiness. Negative energy is flowing out of our bodies.
On a routine basis.
Let's talk about some fun stuff. Michael.
Yes.
We're coming to the end of a generation.
We are.
You were trying to...
Some more than others.
Yeah, you were desperately trying to get to the end of your generation today. Just like that, we go right back into the negative.
Keep it positive.
Keep it positive. But today, I really am excited to talk about kind of a look back on this generation, talk about our favorite games of this generation. And one thing that we talked about before, this generation to me feels like a lost generation. And we were talking about this before the show started. I had a harder time finding games from this generation that like really I loved compared to the previous generation of the Xbox 360, PlayStation 3 generation. But there still was some really good gems.
When it comes to this generation, the highs of this generation I think of immediately and can pull those games out without much thinking about them. Whereas if I look back on the 360 generation and the PS3, there's a lot more games I felt like a loving attachment to, where I could not probably list them all at the top of my head because there's just so many. I could be like, oh yeah, like just now remembered, oh yeah, Just Cause 2 was really awesome. So like games like that. Whereas when it comes to this generation, there's some games here I absolutely love, but when I think of like, also there was a lot of disappointments this generation too. We had Mass Effect Andromeda this generation. We had the second Deus Ex sequel just not hitting as hard for me in a bunch of ways. But on top of that, we also had some really cool like franchises coming back. We had Doom come back.
We had Doom come back.
We had Hitman come back in a really good way.
Hitman came back. I think the indie game scene.
This was the strongest generation for indies.
The strongest generation. I played more indie games on this generation than I ever have before.
Because they had outlets to do that. The Switch hit hard, which was really good for them. The PS4 pushed indies in a really interesting way. And the Vita, bless his heart, it tried. I have a Vita game on my list.
You kidding?
I have a Vita game on my list, guys.
Damn.
Because it's been, like, it's not the usual suspects here when it comes to stuff I liked. There's a lot of new stuff I haven't played before on my list, and that's what has me excited for the generation going forward, knowing like if we can hit the highs of the 360 generation. But also, none of us here had a PS4, right?
Briefly had a PS4.
You briefly had a PS4. So I didn't play like The Last of Us Part 2, Ghost of Tsushima, God of War. There's some games that are probably going to be huge omissions on my list in particular. But so I'm really saddened by that, and I kind of want to right that wrong in the future by playing those games. But for like an Xbox generation, it was their weakest generation, I feel like, when it comes to Xbox, especially first-party exclusives.
Definitely. I think this was This was the generation that Microsoft had to kind of limp
This was
through.
the Don Matrick generation. Phil Spencer came in and tried to plug the holes in many ways he could, but
And Sony, and you brought up a good point that Nick had a PlayStation 4 for a little while. I did not have one. I actually probably, when PlayStation 4 dives, I'm going to grab myself a PlayStation 4.
God of War seems like your thing. Like
I want
God of War seems like your game. It has like that storytelling you like in the terms of like having two characters on a journey that like connect.
Also, I was a big fan of, I actually liked the first 3 God of War games on the PlayStation 2 and up through the PlayStation 3. I actually like all 3 of them.
So I have a feeling if you play God of War, that'd probably be on your list here.
Yeah, and I played the first Last of Us a little bit, and that's a game that this year when it came out, it's not a fault to the game. I was not in the headspace with this kind of the current way the world is.
Oh no,
to want to dig into like misery like that.
I'd love to go back into that world, but now is not a time where I'm like, you know what? I want to be sad for 20 hours. That's what I want
And
to experience.
that's not a negative. Like I saw the movie The Road. And the movie The Road was it bummed me out so much. I started texting people I knew, just being like, "Hey, I just want y'all to know I really like y'all."
I read the book, and I don't know if it's in the movie, but the scene in the book where they just sit and have a Coke for the first time. I had a Coke that night, just like going like, "Man, what if this is
my last Coke?"
Kind of that type of world, that oppressive atmosphere. It kind of weighs on you to the point where a good version of that, like First Last of Us, is a good way of like kind of looking at the world in a different way.
Yeah, I mean, I think that game would be something I would enjoy in a different environment.
So let's
jump in.
Let's get into it. So we each brought 5 games to the table, and I imagine spoiler alert, me and Eric, we know we have a similar game on this list. So we'll go around, and if we have a similar game or the same game, on this list, we'll be like, I have that game too, and we'll talk about it, so that way we don't have to be I had this game as well.
Does anybody have their favorite game of the generation?
I do. I have my absolute favorite.
You don't have to.
I feel like you
don't have to.
Yeah,
no, I mean, there was no rules to this except the 5 games.
Yeah.
So,
but I was just going to say my favorite to the end.
The same.
Let's
unexpected one of favorite games of all time.
Yeah, let's go ahead and go around the horn. I want to start with you, Nick. Tell me a game you really loved.
I feel like I have to defend my choices.
No, this is a safe space.
Personally, this honestly has felt like the longest generation. And then before the show, I asked, how long has this generation been going on? And Michael said 7 years. So I don't know if it's just like a personal thing. Like, this is such a weird time in my life that these games came out. But I feel like right at the beginning of the Xbox One, I played a lot of games, and then right at the end, but nothing in the middle. So I also have a different smattering of games. So I've got PS4 with Spider-Man, but that's the only PS4 I've got. I've got Breath of the Wild for the Switch.
I also have Breath of the Wild.
That game's good.
That game is good. I want to dive more into that.
I've got Overwatch just because I want to say that is probably the game that I played the most on this console generation.
I see Eric pulling up his list.
I also have Overwatch.
All right, I don't feel so bad anymore.
Yeah, let's talk about these as we go.
Yeah,
let's talk about these.
Yeah.
So they're starting off with Spider-Man.
Yep.
Okay, that's
the game I want to play so bad.
Yes, I do want to play Spider-Man.
That's why I want the PS5 to play Spider-Man with that ray tracing. It looks real dang good.
Yeah.
Talk to me about Spider-Man. What about Spider-Man really connected with you?
I mean, so not a secret, I guess. Most of the people sitting at the table, all the people sitting at the table, big comic book guys.
Yeah.
Looks over at the wall of comics.
Yeah, so I thought it was, I like Spider-Man. He's one of my favorite dudes. Yeah, I don't know what to say, but it was good. It was fun.
Cool.
This is one of the first type of games in a while where it's just look at this map. It's got a bunch of stuff on it. Go and do that stuff. And it's kind of like a turn your brain off type of thing. I played the Spider-Man 2 on the GameCube.
Which is
That's a great game.
And, to the fact, it's been harped on now a million times, but the fact that they could at least make you feel like you felt when you played that game if they're not just copying it outright and doing it. Just swinging around that city is cool. And to contrast with the hour-long conversation we had about Cyberpunk, things are happening in that city that at least make you feel like you should engage with them.
Every GIF I've seen of that game, like Spider-Man just laying on the street, and then a pedestrian will come up to you and give you a high five.
Exactly.
Just
There's a button for high fives.
That is amazing.
Like,
game of the generation right there.
Yeah.
Doesn't have a high five button.
it's such a simple thing, but the moment to moment of just walking around, if a game can make that fun, that's going to go so far.
Not
with
even
me.
fun, just like encapsulating. Like one of the things you had on your list too that we're going to dive into is Breath of the Wild, which is also on my list. Talk about a game that the walking around is not necessarily. There's empty spaces in that game, but just the way it handles those empty spaces, you always feel like you can look in the distance and be like, what's that thing?
Yeah, what should I do?
What's that thing? What's
over
that thing?
there?
Well,
It's the feeling of being able to. You talk about shutting your brain off, but it's shutting it off in like the best way possible.
Yeah.
It's the true it's the dream of like a good video game, right? You feel like I'm gonna leave all my problems at the door, and I'm gonna go be Spider-Man for a little while.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna swing around the city. I'm gonna do heroic stuff, and I'm gonna fully embrace just for this little while getting to live in this world. And if a game can do that, like I said, it goes so far, man. To be able, I'm gonna shut my brain off. I'm just gonna be Spider-Man for an hour.
that sounds incredibly appealing. Like,
Yeah.
that sounds wonderful.
All
And
the
fact that
videos-
this game succeeded in that, and what Miles Morales seems to do as well,
Yeah, I'm excited to play that too.
that
yeah.
does look great.
Miles Morales is the only thing that keeps me from maybe not jumping ship to a PlayStation is wanting to get Miles Morales, because if you start telling me I'm gonna get more Spider-Man games on that there PlayStation,
Yeah.
because I watched the videos of the Spider-Man game that you're talking about, Nick, and like the way he swings, it's not like a canned over and over. Like he's like flipping his body around. He looks like a Todd McFarlane drawing.
Yeah.
And it just, dude, man, it's just
Like, the swing
they nailed
animtion
it.
is based on which position in his jump you are, so like
Yeah.
it flows.
They
Like,
nail it.
I haven't played Spider-Man. I really want to, but I could just watch that game and the swinging for like an hour.
And
Just-
apparently, you can tell me more about this, Nick, but apparently the story is actually really good.
Yep, so that's what I was going to get in on. You are, if I had to put this in terms that everybody could, identify with, you're kind of like Spider-Man if Tom Holland was Tobey Maguire's age. So he's like,
Okay.
he's been doing this, but also like, he's not young, but the best things about this game is another thing. We were talking off mic about this on Cyberpunk, where like you load into Cyberpunk, and it's just like weird static things. Like just it's a talk show going on in the background, and it's all like moving and it's playing like background story, I guess. The loading screens in this game are like Spider-Man sitting on the bus with other people and like giving up his seat whenever a lady walks in. It's just like it does really stay true to just like what I consider, Spider-Man to just be like a really good-hearted and innocent in most ways dude.
It's the thing like in superhero stories that we need to get away from is origin stories.
Yeah.
So, and because like everyone knows Spider-Man, everyone knows Batman. You don't need to go over how they got there. And so the concept of like we're going to steal this character to the perfect example of what this character is, and bam, you see him, Spider-Man.
It's like a Spider-Man highlight reel.
Exactly,
Of all
but
the
like
fun stuff you love about the comics.
but like little stuff like that, like him sitting on the bus, because Spider-Man is ingrained in New York City, and like the concept of him being like, oh, someone needs to get my seat. Here you go. Like and like you as a comic guy, but even anybody can see that and be like, Spider-Man. That's a Spider-Man thing he would do. Spider-Man would do that.
That makes you want to high-five him.
But yeah, but it's ingraining, like, this is the essence of this character. You don't have to set it in continuity or in movie continuity. You can, like, the essence of the character is there. That's all you need.
He fits in so many different types of stories because he's such a versatile character. And the fact that they made an awesome Spider-Man game in 2020 is awesome.
Yeah.
Breath of the Wild.
Breath of the Wild is...
Well, both of y'all talk about Breath of the Wild. I'm actually probably going to play that very, very soon. I wanted
I've
to.
never played a game that had the exploring so fun, so down pat, and just made me want to check out everything.
Yeah.
And I've seen like pieces and gifs going around of this game recently of stuff I haven't seen yet. The world is so diverse, it's huge, and there's just stuff that you cannot possibly see on your first playthrough.
Yeah.
Like, it's nuts, just the level of intricacy. And I think we're going to be talking about other games that do this well, but there's a theory in open world game design that you have to have something interesting pop off every 15 seconds. Like, otherwise the player will lose interest. I feel like Breath of the Wild is actually lower on, like, it takes longer to find the interesting things, but I mean that in a compliment, in that, like, you set personal goals for yourself.
Yeah.
And then you're constantly trying to get to that goal, and then on the way you'll run into some stuff.
Exactly.
You'll see one thing I love about this game is the shrines. Like, there's mini Zelda dungeons, and there's like 100 throughout the entire world. So you can be on a mountaintop with like your binoculars, and you see in the distance a shrine in the distance. You're like, awesome. So then you make that your personal mission to
like go see that particular.
Yeah.
It's the whole thing of like, this thing is out in the distance and I have to see it, not because the game's telling me like there's a waypoint there, but because the game is telling me like, look at this thing, it looks pretty cool, don't it? Maybe you want to go look at that.
There are waypoints, but you set the waypoints for yourself. Like, you mark them on your map. You mark an icon stuff. So even if like you go to an area and get your butt kicked, you can mark it back for later, going, okay, when I have stronger weapons, I'll come back and see what this little cave is about. And then you get in the cave, you get a really cool weapon, you get an armor set, and just that style of open world game design is just, I love this game without a doubt. This is one of the two games on my list that are some of my favorite games of all time, I feel like. And
Now,
I want to go back and play this on master mode at some point. Tried, and then but that master mode gets really hard because all the enemies get up to level. So like, you're in the starting area and all of a sudden all the enemies are like 3 times as strong as you are.
Now, Nick, you're like the Zelda guy of the people I know. Like,
Yeah.
you really love the Zelda franchise.
Mm-hmm.
How did this feel when you started playing this compared to like your love of the franchise, and then here's this thing that's very different than like the Zelda formula? But how did that kind of, I mean, obviously you liked it,
Yeah.
but like, what did that feel like getting in there and be like, wow, this is something completely different?
So my first Zelda game was Ocarina of Time.
Same.
I got that bundle from GameStop back in the good old days.
Was it the one that came with like the Wind Waker, so it was the GameCube version as well?
Yeah, so it came with Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask. It came with...
Oh, that thing.
Yeah,
that was
so it was
bundled
like
with the GameCube.
4, and then it had a demo of Wind Waker.
Oh, that's cool, yeah.
So that was my first game. So at that point, I only knew Zelda as like a linear type thing. But, you know, obviously the first game that they put out, The Legend of Zelda, is essentially this game. Like, you can approach that however you want to. You can clear whole dungeons without, you know, certain items that will make it a lot easier for you. You can go to different bosses in different orders. You know, it's honestly it's like an amped up version of that, and they you know, put a lot more of that open world type of design in the game.
The first quest you get in this game is destroy Ganon.
Yeah,
Exactly. Like, it literally pops up back, destroy
Truly.
Ganon. You're like, cool.
But
Alright,
isn't
let's go.
that like that's like the hero's fantasy just distilled, right? Like, you're a guy and they say, hey man, there's this guy you gotta take out, he's destroying the kingdom, figure it out. Like, you truly get to experience what it's like to go try to strive, try to be better, try to overcome these awesome challenges. Man, that's such a distillment of what it means to play a video game.
Yeah.
And it's smart, and I hope more games do stuff like that. Apparently that Immortal Rising or whatever does that, but not as well.
Right, yeah. I mean, so you can say what you will about the games that kind of like took this framework and went with it. Like, I will go ahead and let you guys know, about 2 weeks clean of the Genshin Impact.
Congratulations.
But games like this, it's not to draw direct comparisons to them because there are more to it, but like, this game is the first thing that's been this thing, you know, since, you know, this game's been out. Like, the way that you look at the map, but also you can not even take a look at the map the entire time you're playing it. So you know what a shrine looks like. So you can look around your landscape around you and see, oh, I know exactly what that is. Not because there's something saying, hey, go here, here's the quickest route. It's just like, no, you can see that and you can go there. And you know exactly what you're getting into.
Overwatch is also on my list. Nick, there was a time in which I only played Overwatch.
Yeah.
That was the only game I played. I would watch every single update. I would watch every single patch note.
Yeah, in there reading patch notes.
I would read patch notes. There was a guy on YouTube, and I think he still does it. Seems like a pretty cool guy. I'm gonna throw him a plug. Staloso, I believe. He does a series called Overanalyzed for Overwatch, where he would people would send in their games, and he'd break them down. And he was associated with the Overwatch League, and I would watch and try to learn positioning and team comps. I freaking loved Overwatch.
Yeah.
And me and you played it. I believe you were a Tracer main.
For a little bit, yeah.
Yeah,
for a little bit.
and
When I switched to PC, I got more into Junkrat.
Yeah, you played some Tracer, some Junkrat. I was Soldier 76 until Brigitte came out.
Oh, yeah, dude.
And when she came out, she was my girl, man.
Wait, Vegeta's in this game?
No, Brigitte. Am I saying it right?
I think it's Brigitte.
Brigitte? I listen, it's not the first time that I mispronounced something.
Sure. It's been years since I've played the game now.
Yeah,
so,
but she was my new main. I played in all the seasons. I would try to get myself up. I couldn't get out of platinum.
Yeah, I think that's the highest I got as well.
But man, that was a game that now it's completely unrecognizable to me. I never played any of the Sigma character or the Bastille character. Bastille.
No.
Yeah.
Both of those characters, I never played any of. And man, that's a game I have not played in a long time. But the time that I did spend with it was probably a year and a half of really solid playing. I watched the Overwatch League for its first season. I wasn't buying a freaking jersey, but it was still I would watch it. Primarily because I wanted to get better at Overwatch. But yeah, man, that game was such a really good game. And I don't know if it's a game that I'll ever go back to, but it definitely. I'm glad it made your list because it validated it being on mine.
I felt the same way.
But it's a game that, man, I spent a ton of time. Me and you spent a lot of time, even sitting here at the house, just playing on my account and I play a game, you play a game, I play a game, you play a game. Sitting there being hypocritical about each other's play. But yeah, man, that's such a great game.
I feel it has to be said though that guy's name is Baptiste, not Bastille.
Baptiste. I'm not saying that we took a break, but did you look that up at the break?
Yes, I did.
Okay, cool. Nick, what's your fourth game?
My fourth game. So I have The Messenger on this list.
Nice.
The Messenger is a very, very good game.
I agree. I put it on this list for that very reason.
Okay. I kind of walked into that one. But The Messenger is a super solid game, man. Tell me why you love The Messenger.
So I picked this one because it's, I guess it would be my indie pick on this list. But
get those cool points.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, I just felt since this is kind of the generation where those shine, this to me is the best game that I played that wasn't a AAA game. It does that thing where it's an old game, but they made it 2 years ago or however long. Mm-hmm. But I don't know, it's fun. It's got a good story.
It surprisingly has a good story. Michael, did you ever play The Messenger?
I haven't played the game yet, but I listened to some of the soundtrack, and that soundtrack slaps.
It slaps, dude.
Michael,
it's been downloaded on Game Pass for me for a while, but then I just get distracted with other stuff going. I was oh man, if I dive into The Messenger, I'm not going to stop playing The Messenger. I have so many other things.
Michael, I tell you, it's a game right up your alley.
It looks like really a game right up my alley.
Nick actually turned me onto it, and I think we talked about it on one of the episodes.
We did, yeah.
I think we talked about it in the observation episode.
Yeah, same publisher.
I can't remember what I ate for breakfast this
Devolver,
morning, but
right?
I can remember.
This was a Devolver game, yeah.
But
we talked about how they're kind of really good about finding talent and
There's
making
several
them
games.
and Adult Swim Games have made some of the most
Yeah.
innovative games of this console generation, and they've all been indies.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Like, it's not on my list, but a game I really loved that was an Adult Swim game was Battle Chef Brigade, because that had, like, really interesting... It was cooking meets side-scrolling beat 'em up.
Yeah.
And, like, just the ideas that these indie studios are having are crazy and out there and really weird. So, seeing, like, how The Messenger plays with, like, going back between 8 and 16-bit has me, like, going, cool. I'm surprised we haven't got here, like, sooner.
Dude, and there's moments in that game that actually stand out from a story point of view that I remember. That, like, there's a particular moment, there's so many dialogue that I remember from that game that it's just so well written. That would be an honorable mention for me. But yeah, that's a solid pick, man. That's a solid pick.
Thank you.
You're welcome. We're very supportive here.
I have
on
great
Seder.
taste.
You have great taste.
Speaking of great taste, what's your last game? Is this your game of the generation? Have you been building
is
up to
not.
that?
This one is actually what I would say is probably like the most underwhelming game on my list. Not to say that
Okay,
it's
let's
bad.
do the opposite of what I asked you to do.
Yeah, not to say that it's bad or anything. It's just that I don't know that other people will share this sentiment, but I dove back in it this week. It's Tetris Effect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can get behind that. As someone who played Tetris Effect for the first time this
Yes.
past few weeks, I'm like, man, Tetris is awesome.
It's very good.
My favorite thing is when you send us Discord messages and you go, come on here and fight me.
Yes,
It's just a
yes.
picture of Tetris.
Such a calming. I just logged out for the night, so whenever you messaged me, and I'm like, God dang it, I would have loved some.
Since Eric brought it up, I wasn't going to bring it up, but I guess I'm going to flex on y'all. Top 3% in Tetris Zone attack. Come and fight me. Top 3%, y'all.
You know what? He was challenging Ninja in Fortnite. Now he's challenging the entire internet.
That's right.
On
97% of the internet come at him.
Exactly.
Bring
Unless you're
it.
building those like T-spin triple wells, like don't do that, man. I'm just trying to have fun.
You just blew my mind into that freaking Tetris Effect meta.
If we want to talk games that we've this generation climbed to like high percent of the leaderboards in, I am ranked number 50 in my state in Trackmania Turbo.
Yeah, you were talking about that.
Yeah,
That's another game
very
that I was
happy.
like, well, I think I'm just going to try to get really aggro about this just so I can beat Michael's score, but then I never did it.
Just it's like there's just like three positions on that one, just jumping back and forth. It's just y'all two competing fair and me using mods. Man, that was a solid list.
That was
so
a
in
really good
conclusion,
list.
just like run down your list just in conclusion.
That list was Overwatch, Breath of the Wild, Tetris Effect, The Messenger, and Spider-Man.
And the cool thing is there's one overlap for both me and Michael in that list.
Yeah,
So that
we're
was
gonna,
a-
we're gonna
that was
get to it.
Michael,
Yeah.
you can go next.
All right. So my first game on the list might be cheating. It is as I said, when I was looking up what constituted this console generation, the Vita was included. And I'm like, sweet, I can put this game on the list. It is a remake, an HD-ified version of a PS2 game. But they added a bunch of new content to it in a way that makes it stand on its own. It was recently released in Steam. I'm talking Persona 4 Golden.
Disqualified.
Disqualified.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
oh,
I'm sure.
Titanfall 2 makes
No.
it back on the list.
Okay.
We'll get that glare. We'll get to it. We'll get to the game that kicked off Titanfall 2.
Talk about Persona.
It is a very compelling supernatural mystery narrative. Set in so when you think of most RPG structure, what do you think of? You think of going to a town, potioning up, going to another town to advance the story, get potions in between. I'm playing Final Fantasy 12 right now, and it's very much that style.
Right now, I think of really buggy Cyberpunk games, which I can't
Anyway,
get anymore.
the structure of this game fits itself into 1 year at a high school, where each day you're like prepping up your stats, you're like talking to your classmates, getting stronger social connections with them, and that those stronger social connections help you in the battle. So you're constantly like doing stuff to affect you in battle, but it's also expanding the world, getting to know the characters, expanding your friendships and everything. And the mystery of this game is really compelling. There's something called the Night, I think it's right, I haven't played this game in years, the Night Channel, where if it's a high school rumor, you know how high school rumors get started. It's like, oh, if you're staring at the TV at like 3 a.m, you're going to see the person you're supposed to marry on the TV. You have to unplug your TV and you'll see it. But then So your main character's new to town. He hears the rumors going, yeah, we'll see what happens. You see a reporter lady who the next day ends up dead.
Oh, wow.
So the narrative becomes like, what is the mystery behind the Midnight Channel? What is the mystery behind the Midnight Channel? Why are these people turning up dead? So it's a supernatural mystery thriller, but you're also like going back and forth between like by night you're going in and like trying to solve this supernatural mystery, and by day you're like a high school student trying to get good grades because good grades increase your stats for battle. It is,
first of all,
great. The dungeons are really interesting. There's very minimal grinding for an RPG, and it's a 70-hour story game. It does not feel like that. It feels like a breeze.
I love games in which like there's a back and forth of like a happy-go-lucky, like, you know, not happy-go-lucky, but like the summer day, we're in school, and then a dark, sinister undertone of night. When we talked about Alan Wake this year, that was something that really like I harped on. Is like daytime is fine, nighttime is scary.
It's also a very anime thing of having like high school students by day, something by night, but it plays off. It doesn't delve too deep, I don't think, into the anime tropes. It is a very compelling game. I absolutely love it, and it definitely easily earned a spot on my list. The second game on my list had to fight for it to be back. I had to dive back into this game going, I love this game, but I didn't beat it. I needed to kind of go back in and beat this game to see if it deserved a spot on my list. And this is the game that kicked out Titanfall 2. I'm sorry, Eric, it's Monster Hunter World. Monster Hunter World has the best loot of the generation and has the best gameplay loop of the generation. You are hunting monsters to make better weapon and armor so you can hunt bigger monsters. And you repeat and you repeat. It's wonderful. The armor looks cool. It's ridiculous. You design a cat friend who also helps you out in battle and heals you. There is a group of chefs, the Meowskiller chef, who goes and cooks food for you. Like an elaborate feast is a cutscene you can skip, but I never skip it because he cooks this huge, elaborate meal. It's the best food of the generation next to Final Fantasy 15 had incredibly good rendered food. But yeah, this game, even though it looks more like greasy and everything, he's like cooking shrimp. He's cooking like a huge platter of steak. Like it looks like he's cutting the whole pig for you. It's wonderful. And then you get to I never felt stuck. I always felt like I was progressing. Like even though the hunts got harder, I would just go back and grind on some of the weaker monsters so that I could have all of a sudden like, yeah, this sword does water damage. You're done now, son. And then like if you have trouble, there's something called an SOS flare where you can once you get past the cutscene and start fighting the monster, you can signal a flare for others to come in and hunt your monster. For it to help you, because then it becomes like a 4-player thing.
It's kind of like a Dark Souls mechanic, how you could bring in like friendly souls to come help you fight a boss.
Yes, and only people who have beat that monster can come in and help you. So
I think that's how that works in Dark Souls also, isn't it? Like you played more Dark Souls than I did, Nick.
I think so. You might be able to, if you're up to that boss, you might be able to do it as well.
Okay.
So then doing that compels you to be like, oh, it's much easier to go back and kill these weaker monsters by doing an SOS flare, by being the guy who comes in and helps do that. So like it's such a fun.
But is it kind of like a situation?
Yeah.
Is it like a situation where you're kind of like, you're basically, you get to be the hero, right? You've beat the boss. Now the guy's over there struggling. He's having a hard time.
It feels so good.
Be like, I'll show you, little guy, and smack a monster around.
Just if you want to talk about a game that just feels good to play constantly, it's Monster Hunter World. I haven't had that this generation of like. What I love about games is like the feeling of constantly progressing, constantly getting better, and Monster Hunter World does that in spades. It's wonderful. And now for our next game, The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt,
which is Eric's first top best favorite game of this generation.
It's up there for me. It's between Breath of the Wild, Witcher 3, and my game of the generation. As someone who played the other Witcher games before this was a very satisfying conclusion to Geralt's story.
I played The Witcher 2. The Witcher 3 made me fall in love with the universe so much that I proceeded to go read some of the books. I've read some of the comics. I, of course, watched the Netflix series.
That was real good.
I like the Netflix series. Some people don't really care about it, but I like it a lot. I'm not trying to talk over you, Michael, but I'm gonna jump in with you.
No, yeah, because this is both our game. We can talk about it ad nauseum.
You want to talk about a game, and I'm not gonna go back to Cyberpunk or anything, but
we've exhausted our Cyberpunk.
It is the definition of I just wanted to explore everywhere.
Yes,
absolutely. I wanted to ride my horse to everything. I didn't use fast travel a lot because I didn't want to miss out on stuff.
My favorite side quest was just the random dude coming up to you, challenging you for a woman's honor. And you're like, I don't even know this lady, bro. And you told me you scared him off the first time he never came back.
No, I scared him off the second time because I was like, listen, man, I'm getting real sick of you, so I'm going to smack you around.
I kept it going a few times because he comes back with a different weapon. He starts with like a sword and shield, then he comes back with like a spear, then he comes back with like an axe. He's just trying different things to kill you. And I'm like, that's when I'm like, this might be the best like quest design I've ever seen, just because the guy, and he makes it, and then Geralt just ends up going frustrated every time, like, you again, and just easily.
It has one of my favorite characters in an RPG in Yennefer. I think Yennefer is like, if you read the books, she's very accurate to the books in my mind, but like, dude, her and Geralt's relationship is perfect. You have, you know, the love triangle stuff with Triss. You have all of this stuff with Dandelion. There was just like, man, there's so much good stuff in The Witcher 3. There's moments where you go digging through these like dark caves to go hunt a monster, or you do the Witcher contracts, or you are just hunting for treasure. Like, you can generally lose yourself in that world and not ever feel like any sense of like, you feel like everything's handcrafted and that everything is, you feel like you're truly discovering things in that game. Mm-hmm. And that's such a hard thing to do in a video game, to truly feel like you're discovering stuff. I love that game.
This was the generation of discovery in a way, like discovering new like types of games, and like the games themselves are all about like this, like Witcher and Breath of the Wild are games that ultimately implore you to go and explore, because you'll see some really cool stuff, like watercolor games, like the feeling that you get while playing a Skyrim or something. Like, oh, did you see this? If you go in a cave, then there's a cannibal cult going on, dude.
Well, I mean,
stuff like that.
The Witcher also does that great thing of like, you'll do a side mission that will spin out into like a 4-part mission.
Yes.
Or you'll do a, like, dude, man, like,
the Battle of Kaer Morhen. How I thought that was the end of the game.
Yeah.
Because, like, there are multiple storylines and side quests that converge on that one mission. Characters can die based on your decisions. And then it's like end of chapter 2, and you're like 40 hours in, and you go, wait, excuse me, there's more? And the end of that game lives up to that, because it's like the just crazy stuff going on at the like final battle of that game that I won't spoil here, because you need to play The Witcher 3 if you haven't already. But man, that game,
dude, the moment
Gwent.
But like the moment in which, like, any other game, the Battle of Kaer Morhen would be the ending.
It was a suicide mission from Mass Effect 2.
It's a suicide mission from Mass Effect 2, which is one of my favorite games of all time. But in that game, it literally, like you said, it's the end of chapter 2. Everyone's there, but the fun part about that is now you get to have these characters live through that, and you get to see what happens next.
Yes.
And
it's not a DLC, it's a part of the game. And
yeah.
Like, it's...
I'm going to speak highly about the, what is it, Hearts of Stone is the first DLC pack.
That was a great expansion.
Which is great. Great story. You don't need any of the, you don't have to finish the game to play it. Like I said, Blood and Wine is my... I feel like the reason why I haven't played Blood and Wine is because I know that it's over when I play it.
That's what's yeah, exactly. Because like once I finish that, there's no more Witcher 3.
Because I've played all the side quests. I downloaded. They released like some like little like one-off side quests. Like here's a one where you meet with another Witcher, or here's a little one. I played all of those, so I know the day I play Blood and Wine, it's over.
It's the reason I won't watch season 3 of Daredevil, and the reason I won't like watch the like final episode of Firefly. Like I can't. I don't want to let this world go.
Yeah, it
what
really
about
is.
The next episode of the Firefly.
What are you talking about?
You know,
the movie.
Why don't you just keep watching the more episodes of Firefly?
I have no clue what you're doing.
He's saying that you should just
because
move
it
on.
got canceled, guys.
Oh, come on, yeah, you freaking bum, freaking bum. But just in closing, we dwell a little bit on this one longer than normal, but it's because it is my top game of the year. Of the generation. Just a freaking ball of game, man.
It's incredible. It really is.
Like, it's amazing, man. It's really, like I said, I went and read the books, which I actually really encourage everybody to go read those. They're really solid, and I think they're worth your time.
I tried to read the books. They're really dense in a way, but maybe I'll go back and did it. I did finish Dune this year, and if you want to talk dense lore, let me tell you about Dune. But, yeah.
Mike, what's your next one?
My game of the generation is Nier Automata.
I know play that, but I want to.
It is a very thought-provoking narrative. There's a crazy story setup. If you don't know the setup, it's without spoilers. It's basically a sequel to a game called Nier, which basically no one played, that they're remaking later next year, called Nier Replicant. Nier Automata takes place in a world where humanity loses Earth and escape to the moon. So they build androids to take Earth back from the aliens, but the aliens have robots. So it's androids versus robots is basically the setup, and it's a battle for Earth.
What's the difference between androids and robots?
Well, let me tell you about psychology, because this game brings it up a lot, and what makes the androids think they're created in humanity's image, so that makes them inherently better than the robots, despite the fact that the robot army starts finding ways to make them more human. Like, they're discovering a big part of this game is basically the robot army coming to terms with the fact that life is nothing for them, and how they deal with that. Like, some of the robots go the way of religion, some go in the way of monarchy, some go on the way of just absolute nihilism, like kill everything because nothing matters. It's like branches of philosophy told through the view of these robots. And what makes this game cool is it's a game that doesn't hook you immediately right away, and I think that's where you fell off, Eric. It requires an entire first playthrough to really see the mechanics of this game, because the second playthrough, no story spoilers here, but the second playthrough takes place entirely from the perspective of a different character. Okay. And that character has the ability to hack into the robots' minds. So you see, once you get to that character, you see start to see more of where the robots are coming from. It changes combat in a very interesting way. And then you get to the C story, where you finish the B story and kind of tie up where those two characters meet. And then, in this awesome fashion, you get a teaser, like a 2-minute teaser showing you what's coming for playthrough 3. And it's new stuff, completely different stuff. There's armies, there's stuff going on. Like, it's like the title screen music changes, the title screen changes, and it says Nier Automata ending C. And you're like, let's go. Let's see the end of this game. Let's get hyped. So, just in terms of like the story setup, it's crazy. The soundtrack, each song has like 5 different versions of the same track. It has like the calm version, and then it transitions into battle. Like, it just like adds more percussion. The vocals get more intense, and it just like fades into the battle version and calms down. And there's an even more quiet version. There's an even more intense version when a boss shows up. And there's an 8-bit version of every track. Because the character who can hack into robots, when you're hacking, it becomes like a bullet hell shooter. So it starts as a hack and slash, then you hack into an enemy's mind and it becomes a bullet hell, while the 8-bit version of the song you just hear starts playing. I know I'm talking about this game ad nauseum. I love this game.
Here's the thing.
There is the DLC of this game. You fight the CEOs of Capcom and Square Enix in a Coliseum. It is
what we've all dreamed of our entire life.
It is wonderful.
The
head. Sorry, not the head of Capcom. Capcom didn't make this game. Sorry, Platinum and Square Enix. It's a Platinum game that combines bullet hell shooting and Platinum games.
I so desperately wanted to love this game, and I think I will one day come back to it. I would love to do this game for the show, because it would make me sit down and finish it, because I played a pretty good chunk of it. And I started to see what you talk about when you talk about how much you love this game. Because me and you've had lots of conversations about this game. And I feel like this is a game that if I stuck with it, it would probably be on my list right now. But I just could never... It was just missing that one hook. and it held back its cards for like 2 breaths too long.
I understand that. I was almost there, and then I got to a really cool like side-scrolling bullet hell section and go, all right, I'll see this game has to offer. And then the second playthrough that opens up a new layer of combat that just made everything click. You shouldn't have to play through a game once, start a game a second time to really love that. I get it. I understand why this game's not for everyone, but if you push through it and see all this game has to offer you, it's wonderful. The last battle of the game is not what you expect, but it's emotionally charged. It is the craziest thing I've ever fought in a game in my life. In terms of what are we doing, this makes no sense and is kind of insane, but I love this game. Without a doubt, this is probably one of my top 5 favorite games of all time.
There will be a day when I will play through this game and I will finish it, and I will probably come to you and say that you were right. And it's just like I said, I think it held my cards for just a little bit too long before I got to see what I wanted. People have connected to this game in like a hardcore way. People who love that game. Like the 2B character is all over the freaking place. Like she's over. She's in like weird places too, man. You go to the shady
that's the only
sides
thing
of
that
Reddit.
bums me out is how like some of the character design
Yeah,
stuff goes a
but
little too anime, which is an nerve bridge point I had to get past to really go, no man, this game has something special.
but you know, yeah. But I've also, Metal Gear goes anime, and we all love Metal Gear.
It's what type of anime you like. Do you
Yeah.
like guys kicking tanks? Because that's the anime I like.
I like guys kicking tanks. Michael, go through your list. Give us the rundown. You're fine.
So my top 5 games are. I didn't realize this until like as I assembled it, but there's 4 of the 5 games are Japanese games, which is something I never would have said about any other generation, but Japan really stepped it up this gen. Persona 4 Golden, Monster Hunter World, The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, and Nier Automata.
Man, that's a solid list.
Video games are cool.
Video games are cool. It's my turn, and we're gonna turn up the heavy metal music. We're gonna crank it up.
I know where this is going.
We're gonna crank it up. My first game on my list is Doom,
Yes.
but
Narrowly missed my
it's
list.
not Doom 1. This is the controversy.
Oh.
I like Doom Eternal more than I like the Doom 2016.
Man, I need to finish Doom Eternal. I like it, but
I love Doom 2016. Doom Eternal takes Doom and it makes it a freaking dance. The way you play Doom, and I have the downloaded the first DLC, the Old Gods. Me and a guy at Walk talk about Doom a lot because we both really enjoy Doom Eternal. I'm gonna play that when I do my little break at Walk around Christmas time, because that game is a dance. It's a straight up dance. It's a combat dance. All the Slayer gates, I did every single thing I could do in that game. The ward that you inhabit in Doom is secretly pretty actually deep and actually kind of cool. Like, it's more than just running down hallways shooting demons. Like, they do some cool stuff with the story, and Doom Eternal really leans into that. Man, it's a beautiful freaking game. It's a game that, just is so challenging. I love a game that is challenging and fair. And there was just so many times where I just keep dying, but it was never frustrating. It was because I was like, if I was 2 seconds off of that guy, I would have been able to get the health. Or if I would have made the left instead of a right, I could have used my flamethrower, shot him, got my armor, then went back down the hallway and got some health. It's a dance. It's a mechanics heavy game, and I love mechanics heavy games. It's probably one of my favorite shooters of all time, Doom Eternal. And like I said, there's the debate about Doom and Doom Eternal, which one's better. I think Doom Eternal is the one that, it just, like I said, I love that game so much. I actually played each mission of Doom Eternal one at a time because I enjoy. One, they were hard as anything. It's a freaking difficult game. It will kick you in the teeth, man. Like, that game, you're fighting demons, man. It should be hard, but every day, I would come and like play one mission before going to bed or something because I just didn't want to rush through it. I wanted to like savor that game, and I'm very much looking forward to the DLC, which is I believe it's 3 missions is what my buddy at work was telling me. But dude, Doom Eternal probably came out this year, right? So it's probably my game of the year, to be honest with you. Just I love Doom Eternal. We talked about Overwatch to death. Overwatch is on the. I like shooters. I realize that. Like I look at you guys. Like I got some honorable mentions that like the Messenger would be an honorable mention for me, but like I do like shooters at the end of the day, and so like there's a couple of them on here. After Overwatch is actually a game that it's a remake, but it's one of my favorite games I've played in a very, very long time. It's the Resident Evil 2 remake.
Yeah.
I really love the Resident Evil 2 remake. I did not play. I played Resident Evil 2, but I did not play it to completion when it came out. And that remake is just such a well-designed game. Learning this space, teaching you the space, the presence of like the Mr. X character and then him hunting you. It takes a lot for me to be scared by media, like by TV or movies or video games. And that's a game that didn't scare me, but it put me under stress. And somehow
I know that feeling.
Yeah,
exactly what you're talking about.
Somehow that was very like relaxing to me to come home and be put under stress. But like learning the environment, that's a game that I can still navigate the police station with my eyes closed. And you have to do both playthroughs to get the actual ending. I did the Leon playthrough, and then I did the Claire playthrough. But I love that game so freaking much.
That's a game I'm saving for us to talk about here.
Well, I
feel like that'll be one that I'll get the most of when I'm like diving deep into.
And I plan on playing the Resident Evil 3 remake very, very soon also. The next one, another shooter, Titanfall 2. Titanfall 2 is the perfect multiplayer game.
Most time I spent in multiplayer this generation, I think.
Dude, the way that game feels and moves, and I kind of had some like back and forth on whether Apex was going to be put on here because I actually generally really love Apex.
Respawn, developers of the generation.
Yeah,
they killed it. They're 4 for 4 on awesome games.
I ain't gonna lie, Fallen Order was almost on here.
Fallen Order was great. That was definitely an honorable mention for me too.
Yeah,
being a Star Wars nerd, but
Titanfall. Titanfall 2, man, story is way better than it should have been.
This feels like coming from a game that had no story to go to Titanfall 2, and it's like the multiplayer is amazing, but the story mode became, this is why I'm here. This is excellent. Especially the Effect and Cause mission is probably the mission of this generation.
Oh yeah,
in terms of like how it handles stuff, like,
and it comes out of nowhere.
Yeah. And, like, people are like, SSDs are ways we can, like, change environments in a flash. I'm like, Titanfall 2 did that.
Yeah, I mean, like the bouncing back and forth in midair to change the environment. And not only change the environment, but the enemies being persistent in the changes.
So good.
Dude, like I said, I don't know how they did that from a technical point of view, but it plays so well. And from a multiplayer point of view, man, that thing is like candy. You hop in for a match, and then you'll look up. It's 5-6 hours later.
I've never bought so much Mountain Dew in my life because I wanted to get the Coliseum tickets,
dude. And that the multiplayer is so user friendly for like if you're new to the game. That also it still has a great community. You can play Titanfall 2. You can jump in the game.
Before Titanfall 2. You could jump into Titanfall 1. There was always 4,000 players every day. I went on Titanfall 1. Years after it came out, was 4,000 players. They're still kicking. Dude,
and man, there was nothing cooler than hitting that perfect wall run, taking a guy out while you're wall running, hitting the ground, calling your Titan, being under fire, and sliding into the Titan right as you're about to get taken out, just to turn around and fight a Titan and head on, queuing electronic smoke to get that guy off your back. It feels like what you as a kid would want to picture if you were running around as like a space Marine or whatever,
Well,
you know?
the opening cutscene of the game makes the pilots out to be awesome. Like, you're like, I want to be that. And then when you get to the end of the game and in multiplayer, you can feel like that. It's like the most well-kept promise from an opening cutscene in a game I've ever seen.
It's the only time that, like, the concept of, like, you play, like, Halo, right? And they, like, the Spartans, all these super soldiers. And in the campaign, you feel like that. But then you play the multiplayer, and you don't really feel like you're that special.
Everyone feels awesome in multiplayer.
In Titanfall 2, everyone's a freaking badass.
I have one story I want to tell about Titanfall 2. It was me and another Ronin, which is the sword class, going at it, just like chopping each other. And we both run out of health at the same time, but we both eject at the exact same time and are just in the air with our guns, just like, what? And then I kicked him, and he died instantly. We were just flying up in the air, and then I just hit the kick button, and he just went flying the other way. I'm like, this game's amazing.
You want to talk story? There was a guy who was just hunting me. I was just getting taken out by him over and over. Every time I get my Titan, his Titan would be right there on me. And he ejected from his Titan, and I was tracking him, and I hit him with my grappling hook while I was in the air, and came charging towards him and kicked him. And it's like just this. I think I got him once in that whole match.
You also
but
get
that's
like
how I got him.
I think they give a thing that pops that says like revenge kill to make you go yes.
But it's like that's how I got him. I only got him once. But I got him like that.
I'm adding a sixth game to my list, and it's Titanfall 2.
Dude, we can talk a little bit about honorable mentions real quick, but
yeah,
like, dude, Titanfall 2 was amazing. Definitely, it's on Game Pass if you have Ultimate because it's on the EA stuff. Everybody should
please play this game and give me Titanfall 3.
There was I don't know if we'll ever get Titanfall 3 now because of the success of Apex. But
just add Max to Apex. Problem solved. Good. We good. We good.
But no, you need wall running. But Titanfall 2, there was a point in which you could buy that game for like $10 any day, and the fact that it took years for people to try to really grasp how great that game was.
I was one of the people being like, "Hey Eric, it's $6. You should get it." Hey,
I think I bought it with a pack. Well, I bought that in like Battlefield 1.
I bought the same thing.
Yeah, it's like the Battlefield 1 Titanfall. But they kept throwing it on a bunch of games.
I got this game when it was $40 because I was one of the people singing the praises of Titanfall 1 going, guys, you like Modern Warfare? It's the same guys. But so I paid $40 in this game and I didn't waste a single cent. Even though I saw it for $6, I was like, whatever gets people in the door to play this awesome thing.
It's definitely one of the best games I have played in a very long time. And then Witcher 3 won out with my game of the generation.
Yeah.
Quick, The Messenger would be an honorable mention.
I have a few here that would be honorable mentions for me if you want to ring through yours. But
man, there's so many. Like especially in the indie game field, there was just so many really cool indie games that came out this year that I think deserve to be talked up.
I mentioned Battleship Brigade, and then Fury is another one that almost made my list in terms of like indie game, just like a hack and slash bullet hell boss rush, like a punch out game. Just felt good. I think you said you were playing that, Nick.
I never actually got into it. I bought it and downloaded it, but I need to play it.
Gotcha. It's just a game that feels good.
Dude, did Super Hot come out this generation, or was this?
It did. It could come out this generation.
Super
that was a
Hot
2015
would be
16 game.
Yeah, that would be definitely on my list as like an honorable mention. I actually just started playing the Mind Control, Super Hot Mind Control, the sequel.
It's good.
It's okay.
Yeah. My thoughts on exactly. Like,
it's okay.
It's not what I want from more Super Hot, but I'll take it. Like
recently on Game Pass, they've added just so many really cool little indie games. But like
some good B games on there, like not to diverge the conversation, but Greedfall feels like an RPG from like 2008, jank and all, and I'm like, I'm kind of here for this. So,
sometimes you just want to see what's up. But like, dude, so many great games. Nick, you got any quick little honorable mentions?
I mean, not really.
As I sit here with my list.
Run to your list real quick, and I'll pull up.
Injustice 2 is an honorable mention for me. Best fighting game, and tells a better DC story than anything else that came out around this time, like the movies, the like TV shows they're trying to do. Injustice 2 gets the heart of the characters you love, and the gear system is pretty cool. Doom 16, Hitman 2016, and Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2. They did it, guys. Tony Hawk's cool again. We can...
You can all celebrate.
Video games are good again, guys.
Video games are good again.
All right, from Michael's honorable list, mention list, I will requisition Doom 2016. I also add that to my list.
Have you played Doom Eternal?
No.
Go get yourself
Game
Game
Pass.
Pass.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I'm gonna praise it just because
I need to finish.
it's
I need
so
to play more of
good.
that.
It's so good, and like
The difficulty difference in 16 to Eternal really put me off because I beat 16 on Ultraviolence and then going to Ultraviolence and Eternal, I'm like, this is this.
Ultraviolence will kick you in the face over and over. Like they will show up at your house and beat you up in the front yard. Like it's just.
Then I got to the first boss fight, like the Doom Hunter, and I was just like 30 minutes of just running around the same environment, praying I don't get killed, so I don't do the 30 minutes again. Is something awesome and something that was like. My heart is pounding. I don't know. Heart attacks run in my family. I don't know if I can play this game.
There's been games like that before that have been too stressful for me that I actually had to stop playing or drop them down.
That was Eternal for me. Like I'm gonna have to drop that down to like, well, it's not Wolfenstein, so the first one's not Daddy, please let me play, so I won't feel like a total chump.
Wolfenstein, the both of those games are way too hard for the difficulty levels that they have. Like normal on that game is like hard for all.
Oh yeah, Wolfenstein 2. That might be an honorable mention for the honorable mention because that story was kind of crazy in a beautiful way.
Rainbow Six Siege would be an honorable mention for me. Also, I really enjoyed that game.
Just got into that, and I'm like, man, this seems really cool.
Yeah, I come and go from Rainbow Six, but.
It sounds like we're more positive on this generation than we thought we would be overall. Like, the games we love seem like really good games.
Yeah.
Curse of the Moon series, by the way. Those two little NES.
The Castlevania, like, reboot thing
those were good, too. No, man, it was a good generation. And I think we have an exciting generation coming. Mm-hmm. I don't know what the road is going to be like. Game Pass is changing how we're receiving games. PlayStation has a freaking pretty solid lineup
of just stuff coming out.
Like I give Sony some credit. Like I'm sitting there, I'm been an Xbox guy since the 360, but it's getting hard to turn away from the PlayStation 5 with some of those choices they got coming up. And they put out some really solid games towards the end of the PlayStation 4 generation also.
Just to show what's coming this generation, they gave Final Fantasy's combat to the guy who made Devil May Cry 5. And like,
I need to put that as honorable mention. Devil May Cry 5 is honorable mention for me too. I really love that. But dude, yeah, it's going to be solid.
I have a feeling this generation is going to be. I feel like this generation was, not to put it down, was filler for what's coming. I feel really good about the games coming soon.
Switch is moving in the right direction. Nintendo decided to put out like one of the most popular consoles again. Like so many people I talk to do not play video games on like the Xbox or PlayStation or PC.
So many people
have a Switch, and they are like, "Oh yeah, I'll play this on Switch."
Oh yeah, Animal Crossing, all the Mario stuff you can get on there. That Mario collection is pretty good. People online are like, "It's an emulator." I'm like, "What do you want? You can play Mario Galaxy on the go. Just stop."
And then PC continues to show us what the future has. Man, it's going to be a good generation.
I feel really strong about this generation. More strong than I felt about the relatively underpowered consoles from the outset last time.
Man, see, we turned it around a little bit.
We did.
It was rough. It was rough for a while there. But
what's the second Oreo piece?
That was the conversation we had about the joys of this generation. Those top favorite games.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. The outside is the good stuff.
Yeah, the outside's the good stuff.
Contrary to the actual Oreo.
I like the outside personally, but
why can't we just love the entire Oreo? I mean,
well, because did you hear about your PlayStation story with the Cyberpunk talk? I mean, that's the negative part.
That's those store-bought Oreos, the ones that are like the
Twist and Shouts.
Yes, those are Twist and Shouts.
That's what they're called.
GameStop is the Twist and Shout of the cookie world.
If you work at GameStop and have crazy stories, please write in.
Oh, before we get to him though, we did have a listener write in about about his game of the generation.
That's what we're doing right now, Michael. You messed up my segue, man.
Oh man, okay.
All right, we have a couple of listeners who wrote in. Michael's going to read one, and then I'm gonna read one. See, now it's not nearly as cool.
Yeah, man, I messed that up.
So no, go ahead, Michael. I'll just.
Do you want me to cut this out or
no?
We leave it in.
Just do a breaking glass here just to make me feel better.
Keep the struggle.
Go ahead. Okay, go ahead, Michael.
My friend from college is a listener on the show, and he sent me a message when we were asking for our games of the generation. He says Yakuza 0 is one of his favorite games of the generation. He says the real estate and cabaret minigames are two of the most entertaining side missions in history, and Majima indeed has one of the greatest character introductions ever. He is exactly right. The way they introduce Goro Majima is incredible. Like, I'll talk about it a little bit here really quickly. He is a owner of this like cabaret club, and there's a guy just starting stuff in the club. Goro Majima is like, look, appears immediately behind him. He goes, look, you're not a customer. You're a customer here. I value you. The customer is king. I won't throw you out, but you gotta apologize and pay for everyone's drinks. He's like, no. So then you enter a fighting tutorial where you can't hit the guy, so you're just dodging his punches. And there's something in Yakuza called heat actions, where you'll, like, when you play as Kiryu, he will take a bike and break it over a dude's head when you hit the triangle or the Y button, and it feels great. When you use a heat action in this bit with Majima, he the guy tries to punch at Goro, and he backs away, and then he just taps the dude on the shoulder and just peers behind him, and he goes, would you like a hot towel, sir? And the guy freaks out. Then you beat him, and he's like, I'll pay for everyone's drinks, I'm sorry. Character introduction of the generation for sure. So
I need to
that's
play
a good
some Yakuza.
That's a good game. I think I agree that I can see what you love in that game. I love so many pieces of that game, but I think some of it overstays its welcome near the end, like the Kiryu's real estate story, in my opinion, kind of that brings it down. Whenever I was Goro Majima, I was like, yeah, I would love what's going on. And Kiryu's a great character, but what he was given with, I think, in terms of like the real estate story, didn't gel with me in a way. I want to check out the other games for sure.
Yeah, I think that's a series we'll probably play a little bit for the show too.
Yeah.
We had a listener send us a nice email. See, I would have been a really good segue, but
we were talking about the games of the generation, so I thought talking about the generation stuff would be a segue. But
so we had Jared from Fort Worth. Jared from Fort Worth wrote in. He said he loved the show, hopped on it. Life is Strange, and have enjoyed all the picks to date. What is one of your fondest memories or most defining moments of playing in arcades when you were young? Mine is beating House of the Dead 2 after many a lost allowance. Can't wait to.
That game was like made to suck your.
I know.
Out, so that's kind of impressive.
Yeah, you get me. Yeah. Can't wait to hear what's in store for the next year. Would be interested in hearing your takes on current events and video games in general on a weekly basis.
Well, I think we covered that with Cyberpunk this time.
Yeah, that's some. You got some, and once again, that was Jared from Fort Worth. Thank you for writing in, bud. I really appreciate that. Arcades. Marvel vs. Capcom 2 is my favorite arcade game of all time.
That's a good choice.
I played so much of that game. House of the Dead, man, that's a legit game to beat because it's like Time Crisis. Crisis was my House of the Dead.
House of the Dead was always a game I would put a couple quarters in, never make it past the first level, and go, that was cool, and then go to the next thing.
Yeah.
I can't tell if it's just like every arcade that I've ever been to is just like, nope, this is the one where we're just going to turn the difficulty up to like 1,000,000, or if it's just like, that game is just that hard. But it's just like, they would just like sucker punch you and you'll lose health. It's just like, nah.
Well, it's like the unhuman reflexes you need to not get killed in that game is ridiculous.
My favorite arcade memory is one that's vivid in my mind. It was on Martin Luther King Jr. Day one year. It's really specific because it had to pertain to a holiday. My aunt took me and my sister to the arcade that has like, it's really cool. It has putt-putt, it has a golf course. Golf course that has go-karts, bumper boats, and all that stuff.
I know exactly what this is.
Yes. And we went there for Martin Luther King Jr. Day, and they said, oh, sorry, we're doing a special event today. We're not going to have any of the ticket machines open because we're just going to, we put all the machines on free play. It's a $20 admission, and you play all the games. You can play any game you want on free play. And first we're like, well, we don't really get to do the ticket stuff, which is what we play the ticket stuff and go in for prizes. But I didn't want to leave. Just every game on free play was like Real Fighter Fighters, Star Wars Trilogy Arcade, Tekken 3, and the original Virtual Fighter, just all these games. I could just keep playing until I was done. Like, I didn't have to like worry about courts. I was like, I would do this for everything. Like, just pay $20 to go in and just stay and play as much games as I want. That's awesome.
Me and Nick went to a really cool place one time when we were on vacation.
Yeah, I guess.
It sounds kind of weird to be like, me and Nick went on vacation together.
I like to phrase it as like we went out of town for a show, like we went to see a show out of town.
Yeah, but we also did other stuff. We had activities.
Sure.
I mean, I thought
If
it
you
was
want to call it that, yeah.
I thought it was a good vacation.
I enjoyed it.
But we went to a place in Red Bank, New Jersey called Yestercades, and it was like that. You pay by the hour, and they had just a crap ton of stuff, but then they also had console stuff.
Yeah, they had all kinds of. They had consoles. They had pinball. It was pretty awesome.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. We were there for a couple hours, but like, two quick arcade stories because Jared asked us. It was my birthday. I was 8 years old. I was at that exact same place you were at, Michael.
Yeah.
And I was about one level away from beating the X-Men arcade game.
Oh, man.
And my quote-unquote friend, Ethan, kept telling me that my mom was not playing, that if I didn't get down there, that she'd take away my gifts. And I rushed down there after not having to, like, I had to make myself die to lose just to get down there. And just to get down there and my mom be like, oh, you're fine. You had plenty of time. And I wanted to beat Ethan to the inch of his life.
Classic Ethan.
Classic Ethan.
Does Ethan listen to the show by any chance?
Ethan's probably running drugs in Colombia. Nick gets this joke more.
Yeah, he's a self-starter. Like
He's
that.
self-starter. But that's my first story. The second story is I set a record on Galaga at a arcade in Myrtle Beach. Because while everyone else was playing like the family traditional game that everyone goes to that arcade to play with, I was sitting in the corner on Galaga and I played for like an hour and a half. And I owned that record, and when I went back last time, I still own that record.
That's awesome.
Legend.
Eric's man, freaking Galaga Pro is what I am, man. Galaga Pro. Yeah, man, really, it's been fun. Yeah, thank you, man, for that letter. If you want to get your letter read on the show,
It's cool. I didn't have a story.
did you have a story? Tell me a
I
story.
did have a story, but now I feel like
No,
No,
tell me
go
a story.
ahead.
I apologize in advance for this story because it is graphic in nature.
Oh, no.
Oh, turn the lights down.
That's right.
They probably go. You get a poster in Cyberpunk.
Oh, that'd be cool.
I don't feel like that was a low blow. Go ahead.
So, local grocery store used to have an arcade in it. It was Walmart. So Walmart had an arcade at one point.
What?
Yeah,
I remember
How do you
this.
guys not remember that?
I remember it.
But,
Content warning, Walmart.
That's right, yeah. My local Walmart had a bugged Fast and Furious machine.
Oh.
So you could basically just play as long as you wanted to. As long as you had 2 interactions with the machine, which would be getting credits by flipping your fingers through the slot at the bottom while also pressing the top button that would release the coin if it was stuck. So, like, basically you just go in there when your mom's getting groceries and just vigorously finger this machine until it gives you all the playthroughs that you want.
Just finger banging the freaking Fast and Furious machine.
Yeah. Good times.
Huh.
Oh man, I miss arcades.
I'm glad you went last because I couldn't have followed that one.
No. If you want to get your letter read on the show, stateofsave@gmail.com. We would love to have your letters and read them on the show. Thank you guys for listening to this holiday special. It's been really a blast. Next episode, we got another special episode, another fun little special, and then in the beginning of the year, we will come back with our next game. You will find out on that on the next special. But thank you guys for listening. It's been a long one. It's been a fun one. We've gone up. We've gone down. We went right back up again. And we learned that you can finger bang a Fast and Furious machine.
Yeah.
In the end, isn't that what Christmas is all about?
Yes, it was. Sips eggnog. Thank you guys. Have a great holiday. And see you on the flip side.